Behind the gates, beyond the terminals, lies a web of corruption, cover-ups, and crimes hidden in plain sight. This is Terminal Secrets, where the truth takes flight.
Welcome back to Terminal Secrets. Today we're taking a hard look at the contracts and management inside New York City's airports JFK, LaGuardia, and Newark. We've got some source material here suggesting some pretty serious problems.
That's right. We're digging into an investigation called Predator on the Payroll. It really centers on one individual, Arnold Tamisar, and how someone with, well, a very documented and problematic history ended up in management at a Port Authority certified business.
Okay, so the mission today is basically to understand how that could happen, how the system might have failed.
Exactly. It's less about if the history exists, the source is clear on that, and more about the how. How did the vetting process, the checks and balances, apparently miss this?
All right, let's start with that history then, because the source material paints a really stark picture. Terms like walking HR disaster are used.
Yeah, and it's not vague. We're talking specific allegations piling up over years. Sexual harassment, serious bullying of employees, reported drug use, and even financial misconduct aimed at staff.
And this isn't just hearsay, right? You mentioned documented.
Correct. The investigation points to legal records. Tamisar was actually named in lawsuits. Cases like Rosenblatt v. Elder and significantly Thiebaud v. Chelsea, 23rd Sink Court in Arnold Tamisar. So there's a paper trail.
Wow. And it goes back quite a ways, doesn't it? The source mentions things even before his airport role.
Yeah, absolutely. There are references to an abrasive authoritarian style way back in 2009, linked to a controversial eviction of an elderly tenant. And then in 2011, allegations of harassing guests at the famous Chelsea Hotel.
So a pattern seems to emerge long before the airport job.
That's what the source argues. And claims from former colleagues reinforce this. Things like deliberately pressuring women to quit, slashing people's hours and pay, allegedly manipulating tax forms.
Manipulating tax forms? How?
To increase the employee's tax burden, apparently.
Yeah.
And on top of that, allegations of skimming money from the business operations. It's quite the list.
Okay, so given all of that, which sounds, frankly, pretty damning and traceable, how does he land a management job at a company operating at major airports?
Right, that's the pivot point. How did he get through the gates, so to speak? And this leads us directly to the company, Cypress Kings, doing business as Aqua Solutions.
And they operate under a specific Port Authority program.
Yes, a very important one, the WBE, or Women Business Enterprise Program. Now, this program is designed to help businesses owned by women or minorities get a foothold in big public contracts. It's about diversity and opportunity.
A good goal, obviously. But the investigation suggests this WBE status became problematic.
That's the core argument. The company is listed with Katie Bliss as the majority owner, qualifying it as a WBE. But the report immediately flags that the ownership itself is apparently heavily disputed. There's a contentious divorce involved.
Okay, so ownership is messy. How does that connect to Tamisar getting hired?
Well, the allegation, and it's a strong one in the source material, is that the estranged husband claims he was misled, that he signed away ownership into some kind of trust specifically so the company could qualify for that WBE status.
So the claim is the WBE status itself might have been obtained under, let's say, questionable circumstances.
Precisely. And if that's the case, the source implies maybe the focus was just on checking the WBE box, verifying the ownership on paper,
rather than doing a deep dive into the people actually running the operations day to day, like Tamisar.
Exactly. It potentially creates a blind spot. The very program meant to promote positive goals could, in this alleged instance, have been used as a shield, a way to bypass the kind of scrutiny someone with Tamisar's reported background would normally face.
The source draws a comparison, doesn't it? Mentions another case getting headlines while this situation stayed quiet.
It does. It points out, look, a female security supervisor at JFK sues for harassment, and it's news. But here you have someone with this documented history operating under a WBE banner at the same airport, and it's met with, quote, deafening silence.
So the implication is a double standard, maybe enabled by this WBE loophole?
That's the argument. Is the WBE program unintentionally becoming a way for bad actors to rebrand and slip through the cracks?
So wrapping this up, the source isn't just pointing fingers at one person or one company's HR. It's calling this a systemic failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fundamentally systemic. The argument is that the airport community, through these contracting structures, needs to shift focus from, quote, protecting predators to protecting people.
It really makes you think.
It does. And it leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener. If these certification programs, designed to foster diversity and equity, can potentially be exploited like this, used to shield individuals with alleged histories of serious misconduct, what does that truly say about the effectiveness of oversight in these massive multi-billion-dollar public contracts that impact so many people every single day? Who's really watching the store?